All right, cool. So, so much for the best of intentions. Like, as soon as I was like, yeah, let's just get it done before lunch, my wife showed up and she was like, do you want me to help make lunch we make lunch every day for all the people who work here at Greater Commons. And then we went and got the dogs together. And now it's 1:21, 2 hours later. I don't know how that happens. That's just life, right? Like, trying to focus on what's important. And then other things come up that you got to take care of. Of course, family is important. Spending time with my wife and my kids, that's a good deal. Hands-on exercise number 2. Without further ado, create a func with the identifier foo that takes in a variadic parameter of type int. Pass in a value of type slice event into your func. Unfurl the slice event. Returns the sum of all values of type int passed in. Create a func with the identifier bar that takes in a parameter type slice event, returns the sum all values of type int passed in. So we're going to create foo and bar and do a little adding func. And this is similar to what we saw in the videos where I introduced all this. So we'll do func. And part of this is just becoming familiar with, writing code together. So func foo takes in a slice of int. No, this one takes in a variadic parameter, which will be a slice of int. And there we go. So variadic parameter, which becomes a slice of int, and it returns an int. And we want to sum everything up. So takes in, make sure you pause the video and go do this hands-on exercise if you haven't done it already. And then once you've done it, come back and watch the solution. Cool. So it takes in a variadic parameter of type int, pass in a value of type int to your func, return the sum of all values. So to sum these up, we'll do total, and that's going to be equal to 0. And then we don't need the index, but the value, equal range, xi, and then total plus equal the value, and then return total. That's pretty good. And now we want to call foo, and we want to pass in a bunch of ints. So we'll have just int, equal, and a slice of int, and 2. We'll start with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Trailing comma. And we'll pass in II. And when we pass it in, we'll unfurl it. And that allows us to pass it in, and then that should all work. And when foo runs, it's going to return an int. And so we could print that. Sweet. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit fluent with this stuff. And if not, totally fine. You just hang with it. You keep doing it. Drop by drop, that bucket's going to get filled. You keep watching these videos. Keep seeing how I do it. And you're going to completely understand it. It takes time. And, took me a couple of years before I felt like, oh, I could sort of like chung a little bit with code. And that's just the way it goes. Parlez-vous français? Takes time. Takes time. See, I don't even say that very well. All right, takes in a variadic parameter, pass in a value of type slice event, unfurl it, return the sum of all values. Now we want to create bar that takes in a slice event. So we're just going to kind of like see the difference here. And for bar is going to take in a slice of int. Everything else is the same. And when we call bar, we don't have to unfurl. And this will just be II2. And that's it. So there's no unfurling there because, this is just taking a slice of int. And that's exactly what we're passing in. And now we'll do into here and into there. And cannot use II2 type slice event as type int an argument to foo. We're calling foo, we need bar. There we go. 45 and 45. So that's the solution for hands-on exercise number 2. You're well on your way to becoming a Ninja Level 6 master.